Hi y'all, welcome back to Jen's Merrimack Valley Home, and today we've got some spice recipes that will save you money so you don't have to go out and buy all these different spices and all these different packets. You can make them right here in your own home. So let's get to it. So we are going to be doing some seasoning recipes today so that you don't have to go out to the store and buy a package of this or a package of that or a whole $4 or $5 bottle of some seasoning out there, okay? So basically we are having a seasoning day. And we're going to use the seasonings maybe in a couple of dishes this week. I haven't really decided yet, but I do believe we're going to go that route. So without much ado, we're going to go ahead and start with our first seasoning recipe, which is for Italian seasoning. So what we're going to do is we're going to get us a little bowl. And let me just lower this down here so that we can see a little better. And if you can't see it, there we go. All right, I need my little whisk because that helps me. First and foremost, you're going to want all of your seasonings out. I got all my seasonings. You know, I've got my onion powder, my chili powder, I've got my adobo seasoning that I made already. I made this one already. Some tarragon, some thyme, cumin. We've got some sweet paprika, red pepper flakes, crushed rosemary, and garlic powder, and some basil leaves. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do some dried basil. So here's our dried basil. We're going to, it calls for 4 tablespoons, and I can't get that in there, but we'll just pour it. 1, 2, 3, it's a little messy there, 4. Okay, we got our 4 tablespoons in there. Okay, now we're going to do the dried oregano, which I did not get that out. Shame on me. Let's see. That is not it. Yes, I did. I'm sorry. Nope, that's the thyme. Where's my oregano? Where's my oregano? Let's see here. I got everything else out, but the oregano. So let me take a look up here in my cabinet and see what we've got going here. There's my parsley. Ah, here we go. Here is my oregano. This came from my garden. I dried it in my dehydrator, and it didn't take very long. I've got a really good dehydrator, and it took maybe 3.5 hours to dry this on a low temp, and it's a very good one, and it dries really well. So, and sometimes I do it outside. I've got a dryer out there. It's a big, long type aerated sack where you can put seasonings in there, herbs, I'm sorry, or like I use it for my garlic when I grow it to dry that out. But for the smaller stuff, I use my dehydrator. So here is my oregano. It's Mexican oregano, but nonetheless it's oregano, and it tastes good. So it says 2 tablespoons of this. Don't worry, I've got plenty more outside. 1, too. All right. Got that out of the way. Next is 2 tablespoons of dried rosemary. So let's see, where is my rosemary? And here it is. Take that little cap off of there. Sometimes they're hard to get off, just depending. This one does not want to come off. There we go. Okay, so we're going to do the 2 tablespoons of this rosemary. It wants to come out, but it's not quite. Just shake it till it does. There we go. Now that's not crushed rosemary. That's pretty much a rosemary that has still got most of its length to it. I prefer just taking the rosemary from the plant after it's dried and just pulling it off the stem. Now we're going to do some, and let me see here what's next. We're going to do the 2 tablespoons of tarragon. Those are hard to get off. Okay. Tarragon. And then we're going to do 2 tablespoons of dried thyme. Now here is another one that I did from my own garden. So we're going to do 2 tablespoons of dried thyme. Okay, put that back on. These are the cutest little jars too. I bought these at Hobby Lobby and they're just excellent for your herbs. And we're going to do 2 tablespoons of red pepper flakes. I know I've got those here. Here they are. All right, so as you can see, we do have all of our ingredients in there for our Italian seasoning, and we're just gonna kind of give it, well, maybe that's not gonna be the best tool to use. So maybe we need a little spoon just to mix it all up here. You just want to kind of mix it until it's thoroughly mixed in. Ooh, it smells so good. I really like it. See all that paprika, I'm sorry, not the paprika, but the basil, the oregano, the rosemary, all the other ingredients that are in here. Just wonderful. There we go. And so this is our Italian seasoning, and I'm going to put it in one of these jars. Now, this jar may not be big enough for what I've got, but I do have some other jars, but I will do that a little bit later. Now, and I will put the ingredients in the description box for you, and so that you know how to make these seasonings. Okay, moving along, we're gonna make some fajita seasoning. So I got another clean bowl. And I am gonna need my teaspoon, which I did not get. For a little, had to dry it off. It was in my dishwasher this morning. Okay, so now we're gonna do 4 teaspoons of chili powder, which I have here. I don't think that's gonna be the best way to do this. Here we go. So that's 4 teaspoons of chili powder. Then we're going to do 2.5 teaspoons of some table salt. So let me grab that. And I'm just going to make a measurement here because I kind of know what the 1/2 teaspoon is going to look like. If you're unsure, then use your 1/2 teaspoon. 2 teaspoons of ground cumin. Put our lid back on our chili flakes there. Get kind of low on the cumin. So get it about there. We go. All right, 2 teaspoons of cumin. We've got onion powder. 2 teaspoons, or I'm sorry, 1 teaspoon, 2 teaspoons of garlic powder. There we go. Next is our onion powder, which I know I have here. Here it is. We're just going to do 1 teaspoon of our onion powder. One teaspoon of dried oregano. So we're going to go back to our oregano here. As a matter of fact, I think I'm going to use my other oregano here. I got a big bottle of it. So we're going to do 1 teaspoon of this. Calls for a 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper. I am just going to do this. I like it a little coarser, so I'm just eyeballing this. Just put in however much you think you might like. Like a lot of pepper, put more pepper in it. That should be good. And then we're going to do a 1/2 teaspoon of paprika. You can do it smoked or unsmoked. So that's, again, like I said, I've got my sweet. Let me get my 1/2 teaspoon. You can make it either way. That's my 1/2 teaspoon paprika. And then here's where my adobo seasoning comes in. I'm going to just put a 1/2 teaspoon of this in there. You don't have it made, which I'll put one. We'll do another day of seasonings, and I will do this for you as well. But if you don't have it on hand right now, just go to the store and get you some, because you know that'll help you with this recipe. That's one thing you can buy. See, all these things I did have to buy. I bought them all, and but down the road, I make my own seasonings out of them. And just as I get low on things, I go ahead and just make a list of the seasonings that I need. Okay, so we have everything we need here, and we're just going to give this a stir as well. Show you there. All good. Give it a good stir. Oh, I can see that chili powder. I can see. Sometimes you get little teeny tiny lumps in your in some of your seasonings. You just kind of pat them out there. Oh, that smells like fajita seasoning for sure. Take a look at that. And that's really all you have to do to make the fajita seasoning. And like I said, you can either put it in a jar or container. If you have a smaller container, please use that. Or you can buy some little jars like this, and they even have some of them that are just kind of like this. And like I said, I get those at Hobby Lobby, and they're fairly reasonable. Okay, and I'll put a link of those in the description box as well. Now, our last seasoning is going to be our homemade taco seasoning, which I know a lot of people do make this on their own, but we're going to go ahead and make it because I like to use it in a lot of different dishes. So here again, it's calling for 1/4 of a cup of chili powder. So let me get my 1/4 of a cup here. We're just going to pour that in. All right, there's my 1/4 of a cup of chili powder. We're going to do some salt, so we're going to do a 1.5 tablespoons of some salt. I do my salt, there it is. I'm sorry, not tablespoon, but a teaspoon. And 1/2. Okay. Then we're going to do a tablespoon of ground cumin. I do have some more of this up in my pantry, but I want to get rid of this first. 2 teaspoons of granulated onion. So basically it's onion powder. So we're going to do 2 teaspoons of that. And then we're going to do 1 teaspoon of dried oregano. See, these go very, very fast. Okay, and 1 teaspoon of ground coriander. No, not ground coriander. We're going to be using black pepper, I'm sorry. And again, I'm just going to do it to however much I like. All right, we're just going to mix this all in. We're gonna mix this all in. And there again, we'll pat out some of these little lumps that gets into your teeny tiny lumps. It really gets into your seasonings. Okay, and there we have it. We have some homemade taco seasoning. Okay. All right. So those are just some of the seasonings that you can make. We're gonna place them all right here. This is just some of them that you can make. And I guarantee you, you're gonna save some money sometimes your equipment just does not want to work right. But you're going to save some money on these because you'll have all your ingredients once you buy your seasonings. I like to buy them. Sometimes Walmart has great value at a lower price. And sometimes you can go to the Dollar Tree and get seasonings for lower prices. But once you get them all together, you can combine different things to make all these different seasonings. And they're really quite easy to make, as you can see. So that is what I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope y'all come back real soon. See you later, and have a blessed day.